What's up, YouTube? Today's video is going to probably make you want to gouge your eyes out because it is just that bad. I haven't really done a video like this before, but I browse Reddit a lot, right? Just to get some ideas for some videos. And let's just say every single day I go on Reddit, I see posts like this, right? Most hated GGG, please get rid of grasping vines effects that apply when you hit an enemy. And it's actually just crazy how many grasping vines posts you can find on here, right? We go on grasping vine. Grasping vines is a stupid, broken mechanic. Grasping vines, get rid of them. Freeze, chill, hinder, grasping vine. I just want to move. How many immunities do I need? And grasping vines, disabling movement skills is such an asinine design decision. I don't like grasping vines. What kind of effect is grasping vines and how the F do I become immune to it, right? So I'm going to teach you how to become immune to it, how you can play around it. Short answer is there's no real way. And before we get started, let's go watch this one footage I found really funny. I found it on YouTube, but you guys will have a good laugh about this one. So here's someone's Maven kill. I was wondering, why is this thing named PoE 3.17 Grasping Vine? Well, you know what this guy got? He got the boss, the harvest boss, right? I don't know if you guys ever done Bramble Valley before. Well, he actually ran into the thing there. But basically, I guess he just died there. But this guy is pissed from grasping vines. He does run into the beam a lot, but this mechanic right here is probably one of my most hated mechanics of all time, right? If anyone's ever done the Bramble Valley boss, everyone remembers this thing where he runs a circle around you and then you just keeps reapplying the vines. You keep trying to get out of it. You try your hardest, and then it just blows up, and then you die, right? And it's actually kind of funny. I'm not really sure how many times this guy dies to it, but it is actually just a sad thing to watch, right? I mean, this one is not really a grasping vines death, but there is no reason why stuff like this should exist. I guess if your character is tanky enough, then that is one way of dealing with it. But a lot of times, it's just not enough, right? And let's see here again. Is he gonna get grasping vines again? That's probably one of the worst boss fights I have actually ever witnessed. The Bramble Valley fight. Don't really know what caused him to design that fight, but it's just not fun. Look, he's the circles around him again. Bam! He can't move. Look at this guy. Look at this. This is actually just so sad to watch. What kind of gameplay is this, right? Where you cannot actually do anything to counter it. The boss just runs a circle around you. Yeah, there is one way of countering it, but look at this poor guy. He's just trying to move, and he's just unable to take that one extra step. Actually, kind of crazy, right? But it is what it is, and we just have to find a way to deal with it. So here are some more posts complaining about it, and this is from people in my Twitch chat, and this is also on Reddit. And then, you really think it's not that hated, you might want to think again. Unironically, the number one reason that stops me from playing more than I do, mapping just annoying. So much juice, but so annoying, especially Delirium, right? Is it me or is there new Grasping Vines post at the top every day? And this guy says just get rid of all of the Grasping Vine effects that do anything besides force you to use your movement skill. They're nothing but anti-gameplay mechanics if they have any other effect. Been genuinely having more fun just grinding in Lost Ark. And this guy is actually playing Lost Ark because GGG introduced Grasping Vines in the way that it currently is. GGG needs to stop introducing mechanics that kill the fundamental gameplay. Grasping Vines, I hate them with a passion, just makes the game feel bad. It just adds nothing of value to the game, right? Grasping Vines makes me want to die, someone in my chat. And who made Grasping Vines? I need to talk to him. Well, we all know who made Grasping Vines, right? So what exactly is Grasping Vines for people who don't know? So it's a debuff that reduces the movement speed of your character, and each of Grasping Vines inflicts 8% less movement speed, right? So you can get up to 10 stacks, and once you get up to 10 stacks, you have 80% less movement speed. So yeah, your character is pretty much disabled. You're pretty much unable to move. Now this effect is pretty bad because a lot of times you get Grasping Vines for attacking the mob, and you just don't have enough movement skills to counteract it, right? So how do you counter the Grasping Vines? Teleport with any movement skill that instantly moves you removes all stacks of the Grasping Vines debuff. So if you use Flame Dash, Blink Arrow, Frost Blink, Leap Slam, stuff like that, does get rid of Grasping Vines. However, the main problem with this is as soon as you attack again, you get the grasping vines back on you, right? So what this means is your flame dash has limited charges, especially if you're playing like Lightning Strike Berserker, for instance, and you're resetting elusive with Withering Step, then you don't have flame dash. Maybe they meant to nerf Lightning Strike Berserker or Nightblade like that with the Grasping Vines, because it is a pretty big nerf in that sense. Because if you can't reset with Withering Step because you want to save your Flame Dash charges, then it's going to be a huge problem. This also skews the game very heavily towards like one-shot builds and really high damage builds, so you just immediately kill the mobs, so you don't have to deal with the Grasping Vines. So if you actually have like a weaker build where you have to keep attacking the mob and keep inflicting Grasping Vines on yourself, then you run out of dash charges, then your character is pretty much just going to feel like it's stuck. Now, this one option to counteract it is pretty much just troll, right? So the Stampede is something you can wear. I didn't even know that these boots existed. By the looks of it, this looks like a Blight unique. But basically what it does is it gives you increased cooldown recovery rate of travel skills. And then most importantly, your movement speed is 100%, 50% of its base value, right? So no matter how many grasping vines are on you, you will not feel any effect whatsoever from the grasping vines. So if you really hate the mechanic that much, you can get the Stampede. And the other option you have is to be undeniable, or not undeniable. What is it actually called? Unstoppable, right? So this is a Juggernaut node that makes it so your movement speed cannot be modified to below base value. And in addition, your action speed cannot be modified to below base value. So the Unstoppable node will actually make you not get affected by temp change, not get affected by chill and stuff like that. And it will actually even stop the dreaded delirium hands, which we'll go over in a little bit. So if you're a marauder, you can technically take this node with the Forbidden Flame and Flesh Jewel. I'm sure it's not too expensive. And if you're Juggernaut, you can just take this node for free. If you're any other class, you're pretty much just out of luck and you have to wear Stampede boots, right? And let's be honest, no one's really going to wear Stampede boots just to counteract this mechanic. So you might be wondering, what are some other terrible mechanics? Well, I had to capture some of these images in game, right? And it's kind of like capturing a paranormal activity, like you're trying to capture some images of some ghost happening, and these are the hands. These are the dreaded hands that get you from the ground, right? So any slow that does not have any way you can build around besides going unstoppable node on Juggernaut should probably get removed from the game, right? Because like telling someone that you can counteract it by going unstoppable on Juggernaut is just not the right way of dealing with the game. Like, what about all the other classes, right? So they need to find ways to mitigate it. I know like some things you can do cannot be hindered and stuff like that you can do cannot be chilled, but stuff like this is the main culprit. This is why most people die in Simulacrum actually, is because they get stuck because these hands get you from the bottom, right? And these delirium jazz hands or whatever they're called are actually the number one culprit for why you die in Simulacrum and Delhi all the time. This is why it feels like your character's stuck or stunned. Let me tell you, it's not because your character is stuck or stunned, right? It's because you have these jazz hands coming out and you have a chill effect on you if you're not chill immune, and that actually feels worse. It pretty much feels like your character is frozen, right? So when you're doing Simulacrum, make sure that you're not standing on these things and try to flame dash out of it if possible, because it pretty much feels like a stun, right? So what can we actually figure out about all of this and what they should do in the future? So this is grinding gear games and it's no fun here. It's kind of like true, right? They kind of like self-sabotage themselves with Expedition League, I think. But hopefully the game is on the up and up. I really think that the high point of the game was Ritual. And Expedition really just brought about so many unnecessary changes, and it kind of shot themselves in the foot in terms of player growth that it took them a year to recover, right? And we can go over that topic some other time, right? But basically, GGG needs to remove all mechanics that pretty much get rid of your control of your character. It's not fun to not be able to control your character, especially like you saw earlier with the Bramble Valley boss that runs a circle around you. There's no counterplay. It's no fun, right? Like I've been playing a game called Elden Souls or Elden Ring or Elden Arc or whatever. And that game, it feels really fun. When I die to a boss, it's not because I'm slow, I'm chilled. It's because I made a mistake, right? And that's a more fun gameplay loop than just having your character be disabled and you screaming at the keyboard or monitor because there's some hands grabbing you, right? Another thing I want to talk about is Delirium is kind of annoying at this point in the game. It's been in the game for like I think 2 to 3 years, And I feel like they should find another way to like give cluster jewels because delirium, every single league you have to deal with the map being covered with fog, right? So what's the point of even having a tile set for the maps half the time when everything is just covered in fog? And most people hate the delirium mechanic. Like there's a huge distinction between liking a league mechanic because you like the mechanic or you like the rewards from the mechanic, right? Most people like the extra quant from daily maps and the drops of the simulacrum splinters, but people hate the delirium mechanics, right? Like a lot of the delirium mechanics, like you can't even tell what you died to, right? Like the circle of like the fire explosion and stuff like that, and the deli hands and all of the slows and chills. So yeah, that's something I think that they could probably work on in the future if they ever have time, which is find out another way to add more rewarding layers to the maps outside of just deli orbit or deli mirror on every single map, right? Because no one wants to see fog 24/7. And in the end, the big thing is no more slows, chills, vines, hands, and unfun mechanics, and the game will be in a much better state. And all of these people that you saw that were saying that they're quitting the game because of the grasping vines or they don't want to play maps anymore will come back, and PoE will be the best game ever with the highest player number next league of probably like 1 or 2 million, I think, without grasping vines. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more mirrors, exalts, and grasping vines than me, and see you next time. Bye.